You ever scroll through your feed like you're watching a movie? Like it's perfect lighting, perfect words, and it's just the perfect lives of people. Everyone's smiling, but nobody simply looks like alive to you. The world looks more connected than ever, yet somehow everything feels kind of off. Like we're all performing, waiting for someone to just clap for us. We've built this kind of fake world. Everything we do now has an audience. You can't even enjoy a sunset without thinking, should I post this? Like, this looks beautiful. We've turned real life into simply marketing. Every hobby is a hustle, every conversation is content. And it's not that people are fake, it's that we're all terrified of being genuinely real without that extra step of validation behind it. Because real doesn't get likes, real doesn't trend, real doesn't sell. And you'll see real things, but it'll always have the camera behind it. And I understand you gotta have a camera sometimes, because you gotta have the money to, get to redo these things. Let's say like feeding homeless. There are things that can be good that come out of it. It also has a monetary kind of gain behind it by doing these good things. So it kind of it has an element of it being real, but it takes out a little bit of the actual realness behind it. Because are you doing this genuinely because you care, or are you doing it because it'll get a lot of likes and a lot of views? Two things can be true at the same time also, but I think it doesn't take away the fact that these things are more so being done for alternate, purposes. And that's a double-edged sword, so I won't even really, go too deep into that part of it. But we used to chase experiences because they meant something, and now we chase them because they look like something. And somewhere along the way, we forgot how to feel without proof, of that thing happening. You don't even know if you like things anymore, or if you just like the way they make you look. Everything's optimized, everything's curated, it's brand safe. Even emotions are being filtered. You know, it kind of brings this sort of emotional numbness. That's why people feel empty when they say they have everything. They quote unquote have everything because they built their lives around attention instead of alignment. When everything becomes performance based, nothing feels personal. You can't feel fulfillment in a world where everything is content, because fulfillment doesn't perform well. It's kind of sort of quiet, and quiet doesn't go viral, which is what we all strive for nowadays. And the reality underneath it is everything feels fake because most of what you see is fake. The filters, the flexing, the authentic posts, a plan 3 days ahead. It's not even their fault though. It's kind of what we all need to do to survive. We build a world that rewards the highlight reel and punishes the honesty. So we learn to fake happiness to avoid being forgotten. The system didn't make us fake. It made us it made life too expensive. It made real life too expensive. But how do you even go about fixing this? You gotta stop chasing the aesthetics and start chasing the presence that life brings. Go for a walk without your phone. Sit somewhere with no purpose. Do something just because it matters to you, not because somebody else might see it happening. Reconnect with reality until it starts to feel heavy again. Because that's how you know it's real, when it actually weighs something. Everything feels fake because we're living through a glitch in time, a time where the digital version of you matters more than the real life version. It feels at times, and that's not true, but it just feels that way at times. People don't meet anymore. They collide through their screens. We build versions of ourselves so we can manage, we can edit, we can delete, we can alternate how our body looks in photos. We just real life doesn't work like that though. You know, it's messy, it's slow, it's uncomfortable, it's different, it's real. That's why it feels fake, because we're no longer built for reality. You know, you're not broken. Your brain's just overstimulated. Genuinely, every scroll, every like, every red dot, it's a hit of dopamine. You don't even chase the happiness anymore. You're chasing the stimulation that it gives you. The more you consume, the less anything feels real. That's why silence feels uncomfortable now. You've trained your mind to mistake the calmness for emptiness, you know? It all comes down to we're trying to all look deep now. Everyone's a philosopher, everyone's self-aware, but it's all surface level. There's recycled quotes and pseudo wisdom. Nobody's living it. They're just performing awareness. Real depth isn't poetic, it's painful. It's not the caption, it's the silence between the sentences. You can't fake what's earned through solitude. There's a loss of authentic connection that we've had in our generation. You know, you ever notice how people hang out just to film it? It's not let's make memories anymore, it's let's make content. Every moment becomes proof of life instead of life itself. That's why conversations feel shallow. You know, everyone's half present. They're on their phone. They're distracted with things, thinking about how it looks, not how it feels. You can't build a connection when you're both just playing characters in the world. But what does being real actually mean? It's more so real doesn't mean raw footage or no filters. Real just means unperformed. It's a version of you that doesn't care about being seen. The one that exists even when no one's watching. The one that thinks in the dark, though, not the one that posts in the light. That's where your sanity lives. I'm telling you. If you want to feel real again, start doing things that don't make sense online, because you only see the good parts online. The only way to make life feel real again is to go back to the things that don't scale. Small talks, long walks, quiet hobbies, unshared moments, doing good when there's not an incentive behind it. Not everything is supposed to be seen. The world feels fake because we turn authenticity into a brand. The antidote isn't more content, it's contact. But it's strange, isn't it? You know, we build a world where you can talk to thousands of people in seconds and still feel like nobody really knows who you truly are. Maybe the goal isn't to escape the fake world, but to be one of the few people who stay real inside of it. Because if you can still feel that emptiness, that disconnect, it means your soul hasn't given up on you yet. And that's something that's worth holding on to. But this is TNL. Thank you for watching. Appreciate y'all. Stay real. Like, comment, subscribe. And I will see y'all later.